Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Before the Post. I think this is the most exciting episode that we will be doing. There are three group races today. It's Derby Day and a lot of exciting races, all big races. So let's go through this card.
Let's start off with the first race of the day, the Tattersall Smellian. It's run over a distance of 7 furlongs. With one weight drawn, we have a field of 10 runners. Yes, An?
Yes. So I would start with La Dolce Vita, who was a winner last time out, but in the lower class, as well as Don Julio, who won after being gelded, showed improvement. Then last time Tyra had pointed out about Renaissance, first time out from the yard of Mr. Malesh Naredu. He has a positive jockey change from NB Kuldeep to Neeraj Rawal. One other contender that could be Savage Peacock, also positive jockey change from Shrikant Kamble to CS Jodha. So it's quite a competitive set. What do you feel? What do you all feel?
I think out of all the other runners, the previous winners, that is Lord Dolce Vita and Don Julio, I think Don Julio won very impressively in the same class. That was a very fast run race, clocked very good timing. So I would compare any other horse to Don Julio in this race. So Don Julio is the horse to beat in this race, according to me. Tyra?
Yeah, I think you guys have covered it. I think the only one that I would add as well, just because he's back in class four, is looking like a wow. I really like this horse. Yes, he's top weight, but he's claiming 3.5 kilos off. So, I mean, he also stands a chance. But yeah, I think there are a lot of horses in this race that are inexperienced, but can come into this with a lot of improvement, only run a couple of times. And yeah, guys, it's an exciting race. I feel like a lot of horses can make improvement in this.
To add one more point to looking like a wow, ran a 2000-meter race, which was not the distance I would think, and has been brought down to 7 furlongs, coming to class 4 after running a class 3. So that is another advantage, and I think looking like a wow with the apprentice claiming allowance will stand a good chance in this race. Going to the picks. I strongly feel that Don Julio is the main horse to beat in this race, and that would be my pick.
What about you, Tyra?
Okay, I'm gonna go with looking like a wow. He's won, then he's not won, then he's won, then he's not won.
I feel Renaissance is going to show a lot of improvement.
Yeah.
So is La Dolce Vita, and La Dolce Vita is going to carry 50. So I'm going to go with La Dolce Vita.
Yeah, I think Renaissance also has a good chance on this
Sure.
to improve. Okay, let's move on to the second race of the day. Exciting race. It is a terms race for 3-year-olds only. There are no winners in this, even though it is open to winners.
So in the juvenile race, I feel that there's one horse that stands out. That's Puccini out of Darinza. This horse should open favorite and stands out in this entire lot. Apart from the other contenders, there is a first-time runner called No Time for Caution, Plumatic out of La Donna. That's an impressive line. He's a brother to horses like Leonardo and Big Red. Apart from these two, what do you all feel?
Vortex ran 7 lengths behind Buckingham. I think that is a good thing to look at. Might have improved. She might have improved coming into this race, but it's a long shot beating Puccini. Puccini ran third to Nebula. That is a great line to go by. Nebula is a really good horse. She's running later down in the day. So and she ran just 1 length behind Nebula. So going by that, I think Puccini stands a great chance in this race.
Covered a lot of ground last time.
Yeah.
What about Alexios? Alexios ran third to Buckingham in the same race as Vortex, and then finished much ahead of Vortex. Though Vortex was covering more ground in the final stage of the race. That is also another horse to look at. But overall, I think everyone has to watch out for Puccini.
So yeah, I agree. I think Puccini is definitely the one to beat, especially going over 1600 meters now. I think it'll be interesting to see Radiant Rain, the sibling of Thalassa. She will have definitely benefited from that run. So I think she will also have a lot of improvement. Trevor's on board. But yeah, I mean, I think Puccini is the one to beat in this. And then there are obviously some unknowns, but I think they are lacking their first run. So let's move on to the picks now. I'm going to start off and I am going to pick Puccini.
Yeah, even I'm picking Puccini for this race. Yazan?
My pick would be Puccini, considering the line of Nebula and Lady Scarlet. And I think it's going to be very difficult for anyone to take him on.
Okay, let's move on to a mile grade 3 race. Very exciting race. We actually have only 5 runners in this race. African Gold was a very, very impressive winner last time out over 1800 meters. It looks like he's found his form again. I mean, form that he's always had. I mean, he was a superb miler in his 3-year-old career. And yeah, I think definitely he's the one to beat. There are some other interesting horses here. Yazan, why don't you speak about all of it?
Yeah, I agree with you. African Gold is running his right distance. That's a mile. Even better for him than last time. And we've got a 4-year-old filly, Ravishing Beauty. She ran the Oaks. I don't think she really stayed. So Mr. Prasanna Kumar is bringing her back to a mile. It might be too soon for her, this company, but she's got a very good turn of foot.
And also,
Yes, yes, yes.
Ravishing Beauty, she's carrying 8 kilos less
Bottom
than
weight,
African
yeah.
Gold. That's another
Yeah.
advantage.
Receiving
Yeah,
8
you're
kilos.
saying about Santissimo.
Yeah, what do you feel about Santissimo, Tyra?
Yeah, I mean, you cannot discount Santissimo at all. I mean, he came back from a long break when he came third to Psychic Star on his reappearance on the Mumbai track. But he is, of course, the Indian 2000 Guineas winner, last year's Indian 2000 Guineas winner. He's also the Bangalore Derby winner. He has a lot of class. So I think, yeah, Santissimo will go close. I mean, he should have benefited from his last run. But again, there is a gap between that run and this run, but maybe he's well rested and maybe that will play in his favor. But yeah, I also think an interesting horse is Ravishing Beauty. Ravishing Beauty, I think she also, if you see the Oaks race, she didn't settle at all beginning part of the race. Also the mock race that she ran before that, she was very, very nervous going to the gates and wasted a lot of energy. And she was already a lot better on Oaks Day. And so if she's improved from that and if she's back to 1600 meters, I think she also stands a very good chance at bottom weight. Shrikant, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you all on the analysis, but it'll be really hard to beat African Gold with the way he came out and won his 9 furlong race. That was really, really impressive, beating Psychic Star. So going by that, it's everyone has to watch out for African Gold. Another thing, Ravishing Beauty. First time Trevor is handling the filly. He's very gentle with his hands. He's got a good seat. He might be the right company to Ravishing Beauty in settling her down and making her behave better.
Let's go with the picks. Tyra, what would you pick?
I think I am going to go with African Gold again.
Yeah, I also agree with Tyra and the way African Gold won. I think my pick is going to be African Gold for this race.
I would take a chance on the lowest rated filly, and she's the only filly. So I would go with the Ravishing Beauty.
Let's move on to the 4th race of the day. This is the second baby race for maidens, so horses that have not won. We have some very interesting pedigrees in this. Okay, Yazan, why don't you start us off?
Yes, topmost contender looks to be Lady Scarlet, who's run second to Nebula twice. And now that Nebula is not there in this field this time out, stands the best chance. Hopefully she doesn't hang out or drift out in the straight as well. Okay. Another horse, first time out that's running is the gelding out of Women of War. It's called Beast Mode from the yard of Mr. M.K. Jadhav. But this one is out of Plumatic. So it would be interesting to see how he runs. And Tempo's also had a decent run. What do you feel, Tyra? What are the other horses to watch out for?
I think, I mean, it's going to be very difficult to beat Lady Scarlet in this one. She's improved with every run that she's had. Yeah, no, I think it's a very interesting race. I like this Woman of War line. David Allen is also riding, so it'll be interesting. I think he should run a good race. But yeah, I think it's going to be very hard to beat Lady Scarlet.
Yeah, it's Lady Scarlet's race to lose. I think we need to discuss more about who's going to run the second, because Lady Scarlet
There,
has the best credentials in coming into this race. I think Rambler's brother Rambo, that is
yes,
Letty Moore out
Rambo.
of Stravella, had two decent starts. Might show up in this race. Might run on board. That is my opinion. We'll move on to the picks now. I think let me start off by looking at this card. I think I could say in unison that we all are picking Lady Scarlet.
Yes, I'm also
Yes,
picking
I would
Lady
go with
Scarlet.
Lady Scarlet.
Okay, guys, we move on to a very exciting race. This is the second graded race of the day, the Thacker's Eclipse Stakes of India Grade 2, over 2,000 meters. We have a field of 10 runners. Interesting. Namiri, the only 4-year-old in this field, is taking on the more experienced campaigners who have, most of them are big group winners. So yeah, Shrikant, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, I think horse number one is the first horse which we need to look into. It was a good run to finish off second to African Gold in the previous outing in a 9 furlong race. Now 200 meters more. She will give her best in this distance if ridden properly. So this is the horse to compare to other horses. And in the previous outing, a few horses also ran along with Psychic Star, like Thalassa and Regina Memorabilis. We can take that line into consideration with the weight difference. So what do you think, Yazan?
Yeah, I agree with you on Psychic Star. And Namiri is carrying 46.5. The top horse and bottom horse seem interesting. The middle horses have not been in that good form recently, but I feel they all have to take on Psychic Star. She's running her right distance,
Tyra?
even though she's giving weight all around.
Yeah, I actually think Psychic Star is better over even shorter. I'm not saying that she can't handle this. I think she can easily handle 2,000 meters. Yeah, I thought Namiri ran a very good race in with the Colts in the 2,000 guineas. Very impressive, and she has nothing on her back. So I think it's between the fillies in this. I definitely think Psychic Star is the experienced horse in this, and everyone needs to beat her. I completely agree with you guys. I think El Greco carrying 50 kilos. I mean, he's a very consistent performer. He came back after a very long time onto the Bombay track, and he ran a very, very credible second to Pride's Prince. So I think, I mean, he might be in the reckoning too, based on the weights. I think it's one for the fillies, this one. I think Namiri and Psychic Star, and then Thalassa is in the reckoning as well.
That's the analysis for you folks. Now we'll move on to the picks. Yazan, why don't you start off?
I'm going to go with Psychic Star.
Or Tyra?
I think I'm going to go with Namiri. I think she's a little
Cool. Awesome. It's nice to see you being the devil's advocate here. I'm also going to stick to Psychic Star, though there is a weight difference. I think she's of a different class. Now we move on to the sixth race of the day, the Ratanse Multi-Million. This is one interesting race. There are some really good
Yes.
horses, impressive ones. Yeah, let's start off with Nebula and Buckingham.
Yes, Nebula has won both her starts in Bombay quite impressively. And Buckingham also won impressively, beating D'Artagnan. So they're going to run together again. Buckingham will show improvement. So my pick in this tough set would be Buckingham.
Buckingham won very impressively. Nebula also won her 2 starts very impressively. D'Artagnan is the horse which was running behind Buckingham, ran second to Buckingham. On that note, even D'Artagnan would have also improved. So it'll be very interesting to see these two horses. These two horses might run together a few more times, I could say. Tyra, other than these three, do you want to look further ahead into Admirable and Starlight Serenade?
Yeah, I think even though the top two are coming into this with very good credentials, I think every single horse in this race has a chance. Now, some obviously more than others, but in this 5 horse field, Starlight Serenade, I think she needed that run last time. And then D'Artagnan also only ran half a length behind Buckingham, and I think he will greatly improve as well.
Let's move on to the picks.
I'm going to go with Buckingham. What about you, Yazan?
Even though D'Artagnan is receiving 3 kilos, I would still go with Buckingham. I feel he's a better horse. That's my opinion.
Yeah, even I'm going with Buckingham.
Guys, we move on to the highlight of the Indian racing season. This is a test of stamina and speed and class and preparation and also temperament on this big day. I'm so excited as a racing fan, in case you can't tell. Anyway, the Velusi Poonawalla Indian Derby.
I think we gotta boil it down to 2 horses. Yeah, we can discuss about all of them, but I think the Ruya winner and the Oaks winner, every year it's a customary thing to discuss about these 2 runners and draw a conclusion as usual. Also adding into the mix of the 1,000 guineas and the 2,000 guineas. So let's start off with Beshimo and Finboss. How do they compare, Yazan?
It's tough to compare them because they've not run together yet. It would be interesting to see them both over this trip. They both have got staying ability. They both have proved it. I would still give the edge to the filly Finboss. Another horse that has got a lot of class, and I'm not sure might stay, might not stay, is Sovereign King. He showed his class throughout his entire career. And yeah, that's all about. What about you, Tyra? You think there are any contenders to trouble Bechimo and Finboss, even though many people feel it's going to be a match race between these two?
Yeah, I think we only have 11 runners in this race, but very superb runners indeed. I think another one that could trouble them is Zacharias. His Pune Derby win was superbly impressive.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be between Finboss and Beshimo. And I think it's quite interesting that we have a foreign jockey riding Finboss and Suraj Naredu, India's champion jockey, riding Beshimo. So I think there's a little bit of country competition there as well. Yeah, I mean, superb race. It's going to be very interesting. Sovereign King, I mean, Adiraj did a superb job bringing him into the 2,000 guineas, and he almost won the 2,000 guineas after such a long layoff. He did run a very impressive mock race. Yeah. And then we also have the 1,000 guineas winner, Kavya, who she did not run the Oaks, and we don't know if she will stay, but she, with David Allen on board, I don't think you can discount her. But I think other than Finboss, Beshimo, and Zacharias, if he's right, I think a lot of the other ones will all have a lot. They need to improve a lot more to take on these horses. But then again, we don't know. It's Derby. It's the Derby, and the Derby is full of surprises. And I just know it's going to be a very, very interesting race.
I think you guys have covered everything. One more thing to add is the way Beshimo won the Ruya. That was really impressive, breaking the track record. And that is a very, and he was still kicking on. So I think if anyone has a doubt about the 400 meters extra, that I think they shouldn't worry about it. So Beshimo is the horse to beat in the Derby, is what I feel. Though Finboss has already proven in that distance, I still feel that Beshimo has that spark, the edge. And on top of that, I would see that Suraj is the master strategist. He visualizes his races, he plans it accordingly, and if it becomes a tactical race, I think Suraj wins in that segment. So I would give the edge to Beshimo over Finboss. And I also agree with Tyra about Zacharias. Brave run again last time out too. So he might be added into the mix. But I think Beshimo and Finboss it is, and Beshimo has the edge. Now we move on to the picks for the big race. Yazan, looks like you're leaning towards Finboss.
Yes, and looks like you both are leading towards Bechimo, of course. Even though
Yes.
Bechimo has been a very good follow horse from the first run, yes, I will only pick Finn Boss.
Okay, my pick is going to be Beshimo. Tyra?
Yes, I
Yes.
am going to go with Beishimo, even though I think Finboss is going to be very hard to beat. It'll be Beishimo's toughest race yet, but I am going to go with Beishimo. Okay, we move on to the 8th race. This is a very, very interesting race, class 2. A lot of up and coming sprinters in this that have just turned 4.
Yeah, it's a very tough class 2 race. I think we need to look into the 4-year-olds in this race. These horses have campaigned in some really good races, such as Western Star, Social Butterfly, Big Bay. So these are the horses which I would consider in this race. Also, we are giving the bottom weight chance for Be Magical. Talking about Western Star was really impressive in the sprinting distance, and then he was thrown into the mile distance in the 2000 guineas, but though he performed over there too by running 2.5 lengths behind Beshimo. So coming into this race, I think Western Star coming back to this distance of 6 furlongs stands a great chance in this race.
So, yeah, you've got a couple of fast horses in this race. Big Bay was the fastest moving, in my opinion, the last time. So he would be a top contender with a furlong more. Another runner that you can't ignore is Esperanza, who's also a top class sprinter and who's always been on board.
I think 1200 for Esperanza might be a little bit too long with these other horses that might come and challenge her at the end of the straight. Big Bay was very impressive last time. But I think Western Star is the one to beat. I mean, he was unbeaten before the mile, 2000 guineas. And let's move on to the picks, guys.
Western Star is my pick for the race.
I'm also picking Western Star.
I'm going to go with Big Bay.
Final race of the day, another million for class 5 horses. It's a 6 furlong race. We've got a pretty good competitive field. Tyra, why don't you take us through the runners?
Yeah, I think Tropical Paradise ran well last time. Ministry of Time ran well last time. Golden Heart also has placed for the first time, but she's coming down from 2000 meters. So I think that will trouble her a little bit.
Yeah, back to her trip.
I liked Ministry of Time last time. I thought he covered a lot of ground to finish 3rd. Trevor is riding. Yeah, I think class 5. Santana Row is also there. CS Joda on board.
Yes, that's another horse.
Yeah, Yazan, why don't you shed some more light on these horses?
Yes, Santana Row has run in maiden company and class 4 and has run about 2.5 lengths behind Don Julio last time. So, and he's running in the lower class for the first time out. So she would be an interesting runner to watch out for. And apart from that, like you mentioned, Ministry of Time also has been knocking on the door. He's got Trevor on board this time.
Yeah, it's an interesting race. All these horses, they all come into the reckoning in this race. If on the Saturday, if Algonquin runs a good race, we can take that line and add it to the Ministry of Time race for this one. So based on how Algonquin is going to perform, we can decide on whether Ministry of Time is going to perform, and that's an interesting thing to watch out in this race. As you guys mentioned, I like Santana Rose runs. Those are really impressive ones. In class 4, first time coming down to class 5. Generally, from class 4 to class 5, horses just tend to beat them out straight and fair.
Let's move on to the picks. I'm gonna go with Santana Row.
I'm gonna take Ministry of Time though.
I think I'm gonna go with Santana Row. I think Santana Row has a pretty good chance in this race.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you guys have a great weekend of racing. It is the pinnacle of Indian horse racing this weekend. see you at Mahalakshmi, hopefully, for this incredible race. It will definitely be something. Also, as always, please put your selections in the comments. I know that we haven't done after the post since the last times, but first of all, we checked, no one beat us. But this time, if there's anyone that does beat us, there are prizes to be given, and we will be doing an after the post episode for this weekend. So stay tuned for that and have fun at the races.